welcome to the Bottom Up Skills Podcast. I'm Mike Parsons, I'm the CEO of Qualitance, and we are finally here at trend number 8, the end of our deep dive into the 2021 Emerging Trends Report. And the subject of today's show is connection. So the context of this is that if we're going to collaborate together in a team, if we're going to get things done as a team, it all comes down to connecting. And we discovered in our Emerging Trends Report that sharing success together builds team rapport, builds that connection. So let's dig into it. Celebrating success is really important. It plays a significant role in how we feel as employees. So it determines a lot of our employee satisfaction, but also the fulfillment that we have in a team building a product. So the act of commemorating achievement forges a connection between ourselves and the group, and it really serves as a strong validation of their purpose. Because if you think about it, if we're all acknowledging our own individual progress, our own individual success, if we're all celebrating the team's success, then together that means we're all feeling pretty good about things. So let's learn how we can create a sort of a flywheel effect with both personal and group success to build connection. So as I said, we did this very wide range Emerging Trends Report. We spoke to over 100 people, different countries, different industries, and it was really interesting. Looking at this data, we asked them, which of the following activities is the most challenging for your business and trying to create connections with teammates? And there's a whole list. Is it creating transparency amongst each other, checking in with each other, recognizing each other, sharing success, or onboarding new people? And it's the sharing success to feel like you're part of something was the number one response, hitting up at 40% of all respondents. So it's a very strong signal. So let's unpack that. Let's get into this and work out what is happening. I think when we are going out and building something that really matters, so let's say it's a brand new product in a brand new area, or so, perhaps you're in an existing category doing something wildly different. To build a team, you really have to invite everyone's contribution. And we talked about that a lot, in terms of engagement in the previous episode, which was one of our big trends. So you need to open it up for everyone. And then, obviously learning is a really key part of the process. And we've talked about that as well. And so if you're going about doing something new, there's going to be some unknowns, which means you're going to learn something new, which is great. And this is the cornerstone of the context of this insight. And what you have to remember is that if learning is so damn essential, this is really a proxy for personal growth, for team growth, for business growth. Because if you're learning, it means you're doing new things. If you're doing new things, you're growing. And so growing together as a team, learning new skills, learning new technologies, new tools, new frameworks, new methodologies, it's all part of this story of growth. So if we want to build connection within a team, this is where sharing of success really plays a role. Because success can be something, whether it's really big or really small. It can be personal, or it can be something that's shared amongst the group. I think the key thing here, when we talk about connection, is that if we're learning, if we're growing, celebrate that. Because this is the moment when you see that you have learned a new thing. That's a win. That's a success. When you see that your peer learned something new, that's a win. That's another success. And you should be so keen, so enthusiastic to celebrate their success. Set the example so that they will share their personal goals. They will share when they make progress on them, and you can celebrate them, because it's that moment when you say, well done, Bob, well done, Jane. When you say that, this forges a connection between the two of you, because you're acknowledging them before your own success, before your own learning. And this is almost like servant leadership, putting the success of those around you before yourself. So when we talk about sharing success, it doesn't have to be the big multi-year, multi-billion-dollar deal. It can be, hey, I learned a workaround for this bug that's really been annoying me about the product and I fixed it. Good on you. Hey, I learned how to improve conversion on our funnel. Good on you. And you know what? The more that you go out into the world and that you recognize the growth, the learning, the success of your colleagues, the more you do that, the more they'll recognize you. So we start getting into win-win territory here. Everybody's winning. And when everyone's winning, when you're sharing those success, when you're celebrating that success, you'll find that if you help your colleagues and they achieve something, you will feel some well-being in that. And that's connection. That's empathy. That's understanding, hey, we're growing as individuals. We're growing as a team. We're growing our product. We're growing our business. And you know what? That's a pretty good vibe. That's kind of somewhere I want to work, where it feels good to grow, to learn together, to celebrate the successes. This is, work shouldn't be a labor. It shouldn't be all doom and gloom and obligation. It should be growth, abundance, opportunity, and vibrance, and celebrating those success amongst each other are going to create those long-lasting connections, right? Think about it in life. The best teams you've been on, you often still have really good connection with those people. Maybe you don't see them so much or chat so much, but when you do see each other, those feelings, that shared success, that connection comes back pretty quickly, doesn't it? So now let's go into another thing that we learned in our emerging trends report. So we're really digging into this broad area of how we collaborate together. And specifically today, we're talking about this connection. And I think we've established growth, really important. So when you're building something, you've got to learn new things. And these are things that are wins when you learn those, and you should share those, big or small, personal, shared. Okay, that's where we're at. But I got two more things for you to really bring home some learnings and insights around connection. One of the most powerful things you can do when you want to recognize your peer is know that peer recognition is the best. It is really the most powerful. In fact, it is not only in our study, but also commonly understood that actually when the boss gives recognition, it's kind of good. When your peers, right, when they give it, that's kind of great. And I think that's great because they're in the team doing the work with you. So that's why it means the most. They know what you put into it to deserve that shared success, that personal growth, that team growth. So please recognize that you should be actively celebrating the successes of your peers and your colleagues. And here's the big thing, do it publicly. Don't just say to them, hey, well done. Take the opportunity to recognize the success, the growth, the achievements of others, big or small, personal or shared. Recognize them publicly. Because if you do this, you're giving them like a secret fuel. You're giving them the capacity to believe in themselves, to believe in the team, and to do their very best work. This is why sharing success, personal growth, and learning, it's all coming together here. You can see how this whole universe of collaboration is interrelated. So make sure that you are sharing this success. Make sure that you underpin a total embracing of learning as being a proxy for growth, as something that is worth sharing. Do that and you'll bring everybody together and you'll create that sense of we're onto something. We really got something. And I can guarantee you that team will go on to do great things. So there you have it. This is our eighth insight, our eighth trend from the 2021 Trends Report. It has been a huge piece of work because not only did we tackle the world of technology, but we also tackled collaboration as well. And it's so great that we finish up this 8th trend on connection, the sharing of success, the sharing of personal growth and learning. And hey, if learning sounds like a great idea, then you should head to bottomup.io, because this is our open source learning platform. You can learn all sorts of goodies there. We've got masterclasses, keynotes on design thinking, agile, lean, and so very much more. So if you're a product person and you're trying to be the very best version of yourself, then you should head over to bottomup.io, where you can learn all sorts of bite-sized skills that will help you on your way to building something that's truly going to impact users, the communities that you work in, maybe even put a dent into the world. All right, that's it for the Bottom Up Skills podcast. That's a wrap.